What if the kindest person in your life is also the most dangerous one? Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you will change how you see people forever. We've been taught that dangerous people look dangerous, loud, arrogant, selfish. But what if the real threat wears a smile and brings you soup when you're sick? This is called covert narcissism, and it is one of the most misunderstood psychological patterns in the world. Most people never even realize they're caught in it. The regular narcissist, easy to spot. They brag, they dominate, they make everything about themselves. You know exactly who they are within 5 minutes. But the covert narcissist, they walk in quietly. They listen to your problems. They volunteer first. They seem almost too good to be true, because they are. Here's the first thing you need to understand. Covert narcissists don't think they're manipulative. In their mind, they are the most selfless, misunderstood person in the room. And that's exactly what makes them so dangerous. They're not lying to you. They're lying to themselves first, and they're very, very good at it. Let's talk about the gift trap. Covert narcissists are incredibly generous. At first, they give gifts, they give time, they give attention, but every gift comes with an invisible price tag. The moment you disappoint them, don't agree with them, or try to set a boundary, suddenly all that generosity disappears, and you're left wondering what you did wrong. Here's the second weapon, victimhood. Covert narcissists are almost always the victim of their past, of their family, of their job, of you. There is always a story. And notice, when you try to bring up something that hurt you, the conversation somehow always ends up being about their pain, every single time. This is called the redirect. You come to them with a wound, they show you a bigger one, and suddenly you're comforting the person who hurt you. Does that sound familiar? Weapon 3, passive aggression. They never yell, they never call you names. Instead, they go quiet, they sigh, they forget things that matter to you, on purpose. The brilliance of passive aggression is that there's nothing to point to, nothing to call out, and when you bring it up, they look at you like you're completely irrational. Now, here's where it gets really uncomfortable, because covert narcissists often genuinely believe they're the most empathetic person in the room. They feel everything deeply, or so they say. Psychologists call this cognitive empathy versus affective empathy. They understand how you feel, intellectually, but they don't actually care. They use that understanding as a tool. They know your deepest insecurities, because you trusted them with those secrets, and those same insecurities become leverage points later. Subtly, quietly, devastatingly. Here's a question. Have you ever felt guilty, but couldn't explain exactly why? Like you'd done something wrong but couldn't name what it was? That's not an accident. Manufactured guilt is one of the most powerful tools in the covert narcissist's playbook. They create an atmosphere where you are always slightly wrong, always slightly not enough. And because they're so nice, so giving, so sensitive, you feel like the problem must be you. You start second-guessing everything. Your memory, your feelings, your sanity. This is called gaslighting. And covert narcissists do it softly, with concern in their voice. Are you sure that happened? I think you're being too sensitive. I was only trying to help. Let's talk about the moral superiority trap. Covert narcissists define their entire identity around being a good person, the selfless one, the one who sacrifices, the one who gives everything, which means you are always in debt to them, always owing more gratitude, more recognition, more loyalty. And the moment you pull back, you become the ungrateful one. Now, a critical warning. Not everyone who is sensitive or generous is a covert narcissist. The difference is in the pattern and the impact. One trait means nothing. A system of control means everything. Ask yourself these questions. Do you feel guilty constantly but can't explain why? Do your needs always get redirected to their needs? Do you feel responsible for their emotions every single day? Have you stopped raising concerns because the cost is always too high? Do conversations about your needs always somehow become about their suffering? If you're nodding, pay attention. So what actually helps? First, trust your perception. The self-doubt you feel is not weakness. It is the product of a very specific and deliberate psychological dynamic. Name it. Second, understand that boundaries work better than conversations. Explaining your pain to a covert narcissist rarely changes anything. They hear it as criticism. Boundaries change behavior. And if you recognize these patterns in yourself, that matters. The shame beneath covert narcissism is real. It responds to real work. Therapy exists. Change is possible, but only with radical honesty. The most dangerous people are rarely the ones who look dangerous. Sometimes the most controlling relationship in your life is wrapped in kindness. And now you know what to look for. Share this with someone who needs it.